All right, let's get started. Hi everybody, this is Josh, and in this video we're going to be looking at how I set up my YouTube channel art as a template for myself. And I want to show you this behind the scenes so that, one, you can either create this yourself, or if there's interest enough during this live stream, I may make my template available with some tweaks and some modifications to make it as easily editable as possible to make it uniquely your own. So what I've done is I've set up a document in Google Slides. And the reason I use Google Slides is because I can have multiple pages or multiple slides so that I can switch out things or have like a like version history, or basically just gives me more than just one canvas to be able to work on. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll use one slide as sort of a workspace where I can collect all of my assets and pieces, and then the next page or slide as, you know, the actual canvas where I'm actually designing. So there's lots of different ways that I use Google Slides, and I think that what I'm going to share in this stream might help you as well, whether it's for YouTube channel art or not. But that's what we're going to be focusing on right now. So this is my template. So this lives just in a folder in my Google Drive. I'm just going to show you everything, how I set it up and how I organize stuff. So I have a folder for myself. This is like for my personal brand, and I've been working hard to kind of simplify and tweak and get my look, the visuals of what I share. Hey Kirsty, how you doing? Thanks for joining. Thanks for that comment. So yeah, I've been working actually for the last few years, just kind of refining. You know, I want everything that I produce to be even better than what it's been before. I've also been on this journey of simplifying everything so that I become much more efficient at what I'm doing, and that actually helps me. You know, I really believe that constraint cultivates creativity. Constraint cultivates creativity. So partly why these tools, this free set of tools in Google Drive, has been aiding me in being able to create more things. I don't get lost in Photoshop menus or you know, trying to find the newest, hottest software out there. I'm more focused now than ever before on creating helpful content for other people and helping them discover how wildly creative they are. That's you, Kirsty. You're wildly creative, and I thank you for joining my my live stream here. So this is something, maybe if you have a YouTube channel, or if you've been thinking about having a YouTube channel and don't really know where to start or want to up your game, this is what I'm going to be talking about. But the techniques and the things that I'm going to be showing you can apply to just about anything that you want to create. So here we are just in my personal branding folder, and then inside here I've got a YouTube folder, and this is where I've set up my documents. So I have one for thumbnails. I've showed this before, but I'll go ahead and open this up, because if anybody's interested, I have an idea. I've got lots and lots of projects here ready to go. I want to be creating all sorts of really valuable resources, not just like leftovers. You know, I want these things to be really powerful for everybody. And so for YouTubers, I have all these templates, all these YouTube thumbnails that I've made for myself. And my thought is to put together a curated collection, things that would be incredibly easy to edit for anyone, and a little bit more generic, you know, not so much my colors and branding and everything, but and make these available on diveintodrive.com. So if you're interested in that, just let me know in the comments. Basically, this would be something that you can click on. It'll open up a unique copy right inside your web browser, and you can get ready you can get right into editing and swapping out images and changing text and creating your own professionally designed thumbnails from these templates. And this is what I've done with my channel art, which I'll show here. All right, so in that same folder, I've got my YouTube art. So this is the art that is present on my YouTube channel. So I'll just open that up here. And if I go to my channel, it's basically that cover photo, right here. And I've just updated this because I created some new channel art for myself using this template. But what I want to do is I want to show you how I've set this up. All right, here we go. So YouTube provides this image and a Photoshop file. You can download the channel art template is what they call it. Now, if you don't have Photoshop, this is kind of useless. So what I'm trying to do is create a template that will open right inside your web browser using Google Slides. And they have an image file in here as well. So all I really needed was the dimensions of everything. And it lays them out very nicely here. So this is a great resource that YouTube has provided, and we know that it's going to work because it's from YouTube for YouTube channel art. And that's what I've done here. Now, guides has been something that has been updated not too long ago inside Google Slides and Google Drawings, and I want to show you how I've used the resource that YouTube provides to set this up for myself, and how you can do it as well. Basically, all I did was create an image, and I'm just going to start from scratch. So let's go back in here, and I created a new slides document, which is Shift P is the shortcut key inside Google Drive. And here we go. We're in a blank slides document. I'm going to close down the themes right there, and I'm also going to go to View and turn off my speaker notes. We don't need to see that. That gives us a little bit more screen real estate. I can just drag and select everything in here and just delete it. Then I'm going to go to File, Page Setup, and here's where we're going to change our document size to custom and select pixels. And from our the template, right? The dimensions that YouTube provides, we can see in here what that document should be set up to be. So it's 2560 by 1440. 2560 by 1440. So that's what I'm going to put right in here. 2560 by 1440. So now we know the size, the total size of this thing should be. So this is what's going to be displayed on a television. If you're watching YouTube on a television, this is what will be displayed. And I'm just going to grab the image here from my previous Google Slides. But just to show you, actually, you know what? I'll just do it how I would do it. So I downloaded, it's just a zip file, and I think that you can just search for YouTube channel art. And it's a Google support.google.com/YouTube article. And if you scroll down here to image size and file guidelines, this is where I got this. So channel art template, that's what I clicked on, and it will download a zip file with this image and a Photoshop document. So what I did is I just got the image and dragged it in here. And then I made sure that I expand it, holding Shift, to the full size of my canvas. Now that I know my canvas is the right size. There we go. Now, I can zoom in on this, and one thing that happens when I zoom in on this image is it will start to resample this image, so it gets a little blurry and a little pixelated as I zoom in on it. And this makes it a little bit difficult to set my guides and to know exactly like where is that actual pixel. If I wanted to line things up and get them really precise and really perfect to make sure that everything works on each different device, right? So we've got a desktop max, a tablet, and desktop minimum, and mobile. And I want to make sure that everything fits so that no matter where you're viewing it, it looks good. And you can see all of the information that you want your viewers to see. And I've got a little workaround because still we can't set objects or guides to pixel dimensions. Let me just show you what I mean. I'll just create a rectangle. And what would be great is to have this rectangle be 1546 by 423 if I want maybe a solid color or a background image or something to fit and make sure it fits exactly in that mobile dimension. We do have format options here and size and position right up at the top, but that's for me only in inches. And I believe Wes Warner said that was in centimeters for him in the UK. Now, my thought is that if I set my custom page setup to be in pixels, this should also be in pixels. So that's something that if you guys would help me out, go to the help menu and report a problem. And you can submit feedback to them, to Google, and hopefully they will allow that to be set and adjusted here. So that what I would love to see is that you could click on inches just like you can when you go to the page setup. See how it's inches, centimeters, points, and pixels? That's how I feel like your size and position here should be as well. So this is what I'm talking about. This is what's tricky, right? To try to get this lined up perfectly, I don't know. I can just try to match it and eyeball it, but as I zoom in more, those pixels become more and more hazy. So I don't know if it's going to be pixel perfect or not. The nice thing is that YouTube does give us the exact pixel dimension for that mobile area, right? And the reason I'm focusing on this is the sort of hot spot. This is where I want to make sure all of my major important information or images fit. All of this other stuff is only going to be visible if somebody's watching on a television. And I want to make sure there's something there that's maybe visually interesting, but nothing that's important that I want my viewers to see. That's why I set up a template for myself. So here's my hack. Here's my workaround. I'll go back to my folder here and create a Google Drawings. Shift D on the keyboard will open a new tab with a new Google Drawings. And what I will do is remember this number here, 1546 by 423. Go to File in my new Google Drawings, Page Setup, Custom, Pixels, and I've already forgotten, 1546. Put it in right here, 1546 by 423, and click OK. Now I'll create a rectangle and make sure it snaps to my document edges here. So I'll get that red guide and I'll just turn off my stroke and make my color something obnoxious here. Now I know that this rectangle is exactly the pixel dimensions that I want. So I'm going to copy that and paste it back into my Google presentation here. And I want to show you something. We eyeballed it and we did a pretty good job, but doing it this way shows us that I got it wrong. So this bright cyan one is the correct size. And you see how I was off by several pixels there. So this is why I'm setting up my very own template here. And I only have to do it once, and then I know when I open this Google presentation in the future, everything's set up correctly. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the new guides in Google Slides to assist myself even more here. So I'm going to go to View, Guides, and Show Guides. Now there's two guides in here, one directly through the vertical axis and one directly through the horizontal axis. I'm going to move those now that I have this rectangle in here that's set up exactly to the correct pixel dimensions. These guides will snap to it right there. That's where I want that one. And I'm going to put this one on the bottom and it'll snap to my shape right there. Go back to View, Guides, and I'll add another vertical guide. We'll move that one and snap it again to our shape. View, Guides, and a new horizontal guide, and snap it to the top. There we go. If I wanted to, I could do the same thing with each device size. So I could set up a tablet device, go back to my my Google Slides here, or my Google Drawings, and I could set it up to be 1855 by 423. And what's interesting now is that if I change my page setup here, it's going to stretch and readjust the shapes that I have in here. So 1855, 423 is already in there. And there's our new shape. I can just copy that and paste it in here. And first I'm just going to get rid of my old one and paste. And we'll just go to Arrange, Center on Page horizontally, Center on Page vertically. And I should have done that with my first one, so I can just adjust my guides, my horizontal guides. There we go. And now I could create new guides, a new vertical guide, snap it to the edge, View, Guides, new vertical guide, snap it to this edge. And that's really all I need, because then I know that the edges of my document will be the desktop area. And so I can get rid of this image now that I just used as a template. And I have guides now. I know that the center is where the information, the mobile information, and the minimum size for desktop is going to be. And then I can save this as my YouTube template. Right? And this really gives me a way of creating a YouTube channel art that allows me to know exactly what it's going to look like on each different device, each different size that YouTube will adjust that channel art for. Kirsty says, I didn't know about the guides feature. That is going to be so helpful. Yeah, it really is. And this just creating a Google drawing is sort of a workaround, kind of a hack to be able to create a shape that is exactly the size that you want to create. And then those guides, what I really like about it is it will snap to those vector shapes that you've created. So I just use that as a little reference for myself, and then I can always just get rid of that Google drawing. And that's how I've set it up for myself in this document. So this is how I was able to create this. I like having something that's maybe just a little bit different in the background that kind of gives people a little bit more, context for my channel or my personality if they're viewing it on the TV. But like I said, most of my views are not from a TV. They're usually from a mobile device or a desktop. So I want to make sure that my sort of tagline, which is sharing creativity and tips, and I've got my name here, that's all in this minimum viewing area right here. And that's how I've set it up. If you'd be interested in just being able to open this without having to set up the guides, without having to, set up anything, it's already everything that I just created right in this stream is laid out and ready for you to go. Let me know in the comments, and I will try to make this available for you. Much like I did for, let's see, googledrawings.org. I have a resources page in here, which is continuing to grow because of your help, especially those Patreon supporters. I really, really appreciate it. And I want to continue creating resources and assets like this. So if you'd be interested, just let me know in the comments. Then back on my YouTube page, YouTube makes it really easy to just upload that photo. And here's what I do. Once I'm done with my channel art, with the design, so for example, if I wanted to change it out, maybe for this one, I go to File, Download As, and I use the PNG because that's going to retain the most detail and sharpness. The JPEG will be compressed just a bit and won't look quite as nice. So I download it as a PNG. And once that finishes downloading, it will be in my downloads folder here. And there it is. Here's my current one. And here's the new one that I will replace it with. And in YouTube, it's just as easy as clicking on that little photo icon, selecting from your computer, and uploading your new artwork. Now, the great thing is, I already know this is set up perfectly. So when I click open, it's going to upload, and then it will show me a preview. And this is what I think is so great, is that this is exactly what I was expecting. All of my important content here is visible exactly how I want it. On the TV, you see how you know, the background is visible, but in the desktop and mobile, nothing is missing. Everything there that should be there is visible. And then I just click select, and I don't need to crop or adjust it at all. There's my new artwork. Hope that was helpful. Thank you guys for watching. Alan, hey, thank you for being on here. How you doing? Thanks for the comment. Does anybody have any comments or questions now? So we used guides. We set up a template. We used the resources provided by Google for the YouTube channel art, so that we know that it's current. We know that it's pixel perfect, using our little workaround with creating a Google Drawings that is exactly the pixel dimension for that minimum desktop and mobile area there. Then we set up guides so that we could create this template for ourselves. The nice thing about guides, by the way, now if I create a shape, is I can snap these to these guides. There we go. See how that works? So if I just wanted to create a you know, background color, and maybe we'll make it red, like a YouTube red. And this center area, and this is normally how I'll do this, is have this just kind of stripped down the middle. As you can see on mine, that's how I did it. And I could insert maybe some word art here, and this would just be whatever your name is, your channel name. Or it could be your logo if you have a logo, and you could just make sure that it sits inside these guides now that we have. And we can use those snapping features. There we go. Also, if I right click on one of these guides, I can go to Edit Guides, and maybe to see these a little easier, I can change the color. Again, this is what would be nice, is if we could change those, because we can granularly edit the placement of these guides, but right now only in inches. It'd be great if I could set those as pixels, because my document's set up to be pixels. But now I can maybe see these a little bit better if my background was darker. And it's nice to be able to change the color of those guides. And maybe we'll make our background just a gradient. So even just something as clean and simple and nice as this, we know it's going to be set up for all of our devices correctly. Anybody else have any comments or questions? Thank you guys. I really appreciate you hanging out with me and commenting in the chat. Yeah, so my plan is to create a set of both channel art templates as well as YouTube thumbnails for any YouTubers or aspiring YouTubers if you haven't started creating videos yet and would like to. And I think that it's really helpful when you have a collection of things all ready to go, sort of creating your own library of content. So it's not like you're starting out from scratch and then you're constantly having to catch up. That's what I think is really helpful. So my hope is to create, some different genres or different industry themes. So having a YouTube channel art along with a set of thumbnails, maybe for fitness, maybe one for vloggers, one for podcasters, one for designers and artists, one for education. Lots of different themes. If you guys have any ideas, let me know. That'll help me create things I know that people are interested in seeing more of. And again, making sure that they're valuable and useful to other people. So set up your guides. If you want this template, let me know in the comments on this video or right now live, and I can get it uploaded so that you guys can just simply click on it, just like you can on my Google Drawings resources. Click on Make a New Copy, and that will open right inside your web browser. And you can just simply start editing, just as simple as you just saw me do. So that's what I'm hoping to do. Just looking at chat, so unless there's any other questions, I'll sign off for now. Thank you guys for joining me, and look for more to come. If any of this information was helpful to you, I do have a Patreon gallery that's live right now, and I continue adding new patrons to this gallery. You get a vector portrait or vector flat here, depending on the tier of your donation. It really helps me out. You can check out patreon.com/JoshuaPomeroy so that I can continue making more valuable content and resources like this. I don't ever want to charge for this stuff. So the patrons are really what are helping me be able to keep doing this stuff. I really appreciate it. All right, well, thank you for watching. Bye for now.